Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff White, Jeff White Fitness Solutions. Thanks for checking out this video today. And today, this is a financial fitness video. And we have to talk about finances because it's on everybody's mind. And the main thing that we're all focused on is inflation. Everyone around the world is talking about inflation. And the hope is it will eventually go down or prices will, kind of level out. But I'm here to tell you that not only will inflation continue, it will get worse. And there are three big reasons why that are not being discussed in mainstream media that we all need to watch and be prepared for. So check these out. But before I get started, please like and subscribe to the channel and also leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this topic here. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first reason we're going to see this inflation keep rising is because of this massive debt that the US has. Now, here are just a few other countries just for comparison, but you can clearly see the US has the highest debt out there. And also keep in mind that you have to pay interest on that debt as well. And interest on $1 trillion is astronomical. So just imagine what it's going to be for $30 trillion. Another thing you want to look at on this screen is the debt to GDP ratio. And this is an indication of the ability of countries to pay their money back, their debt back, without incurring more debt. The lower the debt to GDP ratio, the better. And as you can clearly see, the US debt to GDP ratio is pretty high. So we probably won't be able to pay that back, and we can expect inflation to continue rising. Now, the second reason why I don't believe inflation will decrease anytime soon is because many countries are simply not buying US Treasuries as much as they used to. You can clearly see here Japan and China have decreased their holdings of US Treasuries. Now, China did buy a little bit recently, but we cannot count on them doing that on a consistent basis, especially with the ongoing tension that we are seeing between the US and China. So, what happens is the Fed has to turn around and buy back the treasuries. And they were buying $80 billion a month worth of treasuries. And all that did was just increase the US debt that we saw in the previous slide. So this is a major problem, and it's just going to get worse before it gets better. Now, the third reason is countries are conducting trades outside of the US dollar. And one of the biggest reasons for this is because of the BRICS nations. That is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They are conducting trades in the tune of billions of dollars outside of US currency. Now, this is important because the US dollar is the world reserve currency. And if less transactions are conducted in dollars around the world, then the demand for the dollar will decrease. Less demand means less purchasing power of that dollar. Less purchasing power means higher prices. And Russia and China are spearheading this. And this might be a really big reason why we see the conflict over in Ukraine. This could be a fight for the dollar. And we have to pay very close attention to this. Now, also keep in mind, these BRIC nations, they are also producer nations where they produce a lot of the things that many countries, including the United States, use. Ask yourself a simple question. If you go to Walmart or even look in your home, where are the products made? That should really scare you because the US does not make enough products here on its home soil to protect itself if these countries are moving away from the dollar. This is very, very important. You can also see more and more nations are wanting to join the BRICS. If they do that, then the US could be on the outside looking in which means the dollar could be in serious, serious trouble and we could see prices go up even higher. So as you guys watch this video, let me ask you, how much of this did you already know? How much of this have you seen discussed in mainstream media? This is not discussed, but this is serious. This can impact everyone around the world in ways that we probably don't want to imagine. So I won't bore you with the detail on this page, but just know there are many deals. They are wheeling and dealing behind the scenes away from American mainstream media. And all these deals are going on outside of the US dollar and the US economy. It's almost as if the world is moving on from the US. And I have to stress this point. Or let me ask you another question. What products does the US export that the world needs? Think about that. What products does the US export that the world needs? I don't think it's that many. It's not enough to make a really big impact on the rest of the world. So they are moving on without us. And we need to pay attention to this because if they do that, then the dollar is in serious trouble and so is our standard of living. But make no mistake, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that is affecting or will affect us tremendously in the near future. Okay, we can talk about the problems, and we have to at some point accept that things are changing and our lives could change. Now, instead of just complaining about it or saying, oh, woe is me, we can do some things about it. And here are some action steps that I think we really need to keep in mind and consider doing. The first thing we have to do is you must pay attention to world events. Again, this is not discussed in mainstream media, but the news is out there. Channels like mine and a few others on YouTube um, are really good at breaking down what's going on, just so you can have a heads up. So remember, if inflation continues, that means prices will rise. And let me ask you this, do you think prices will be more in the next 6 months to 12 months, or will they be less? Will prices be higher or lower? If you think they're going to be higher, you might want to start buying more things now. Buy the stuff you need. Get you some food, get you some water, get you some basic essentials, maybe even some clothes, especially if you have kids. Get some bigger size shoes, get some bigger size clothes, because if the dollar loses its value, those things will be more expensive. If we have issues with China, what if they stop shipping stuff over here? I don't know about you guys, but I don't see too many clothing manufacturers or clothing facilities where they make clothes in the United States being built. So just think about it, okay? And next thing you want to start doing is looking at getting alternative sources of energy. Energy prices are going sky high around the world. If you want to cut back on your energy costs, find alternative sources of energy, solar generators, gas generators, any type of cooking utensils, anything you can think of to help you cut back on your use of power is going to be huge going forward. You're going to need it. So here are a few other things you can do as well. So think about it. If the dollar loses its value, you want to protect your wealth. And one way you can do that is by picking up some precious metals like physical gold and physical silver. Gold and silver have been used as money for thousands of years and will continue to be used as money. A lot of people don't know about gold and silver, unfortunately, but look at it like this. Many central banks around the world are slowly and quietly accumulating gold and storing it in their vaults. They have tons and tons of gold stored in their vaults, and they're using it as a hedge against inflation. And it's also believed it will be used to help back the new monetary currency that is being instituted by the BRICS nations. So consider getting some physical gold and physical silver. Next thing you want to do is have multiple streams of income. I'm not talking multiple jobs, multiple income streams. The average millionaire has a minimum of 7 income streams. The average person has just one income stream. The average person gets paid twice a month. Well, if you have multiple income streams, you could be getting paid twice or three times a week. Think about that. That can help you get through these inflationary times. And a bonus tip, if you have some type of asset that you can sell and you can raise the price on that asset, that can definitely help you overcome inflation. And last but certainly not least, we can expect to see a lot of mayhem in the streets, and you want to be able to protect yourself. So you want to have as much security as you possibly can. You want to have something that projects lead projectiles. You may want to have some pepper spray. You want to have stun guns. You want to have sensors on your windows. You may want to get a dog. You may want to do all these different things, but you really want to make sure you have some type of security. This is going to be key going forward. Knowledge is power, people. Knowledge is power. The more we know, the better we can prepare. Now, see, some people see this as doom and gloom, but I don't see it that way. If these things are going to happen, I want to be aware of them so I can do what I can to help protect myself and my family as much as I can. So, if you like the video, please like and share the video. And let me also say, I have written 11 books, and here are two of them here that may be beneficial. The first one is Invest for Success, Millionaire US Strategies Not Taught in School. This can be a great way to help protect you from inflation. We're not taught about finances or money in school. We're only taught about the stock market and maybe bonds, but there's a whole world out there that we must be aware of. The next thing we must do is work on being as physically, mentally, and spiritually fit as we can, because we're going through some very difficult times. And here I also have my other book, The Three Pillars of Strength, Increasing Your Physical, Mental, and Spiritual Fitness. So definitely check out these books. I do believe they can definitely help you. All right, guys, that's it for today. Again, thanks for checking me out. Thanks for watching the video, and check out my books on Amazon too. Okay, take care, guys. Peace.